Coming up. All right, today is the start of National Infertility Awareness Week, and it's meant to take away stigma and educate the public about reproductive health issues nationwide. And really, a lot is going on here in Western Washington. So joining me now is Annie Kuo and Tamara Tobias to talk about another big topic, which is the cost. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so I have to ask, you've worked very, very hard to help educate people in a lot of different ways, but I think the cost is something that we should talk about.
Yes.
How much of it is a barrier? How much is cost a barrier for people?
Definitely can be a big barrier because people don't, if you look at cost just in general and the fertility treatments that are available, something as high tech as IVF can cost anywhere about $12,000 on national average, and even more less aggressive treatments, any assisted reproductive technologies like an intrauterine insemination can cost about $3,000. And so it may not always work the first cycle, so it may take multiple attempts. So that plays a big role in what patients can do.
And that's not including the medications.
It does not include medications.
Right. Yeah. The cost of fertility drugs and fertility treatment can be very financially distressing and emotionally distressing for couples who are struggling to conceive, usually getting an infertility diagnosis after a year of trying when the woman is under 35. And it can be a great barrier to those. There's a big social justice issue in terms of access to care.
Yeah, I want to talk about
that.
Yes. But first, I have to talk about what you guys did this weekend because it was amazing. So talk about this race that
Talk
you
about
did.
this race.
Yeah.
So it all started with this very simple book called Fertility Walk. This is a book that I wrote for those beginning the fertility journey, and proceeds go to Fertility Walk Hope Fund for those who can't afford treatment. So with this idea of a walk, we had our first ever 5K race for fertility. It was hosted by Footsteps for Fertility, and we had 6 grant recipients. So 3 people won a free IVF cycle.
Oh my gosh.
In addition, another person got fertility services. All those 4 grant recipients also received free genetic screening as well as $1,000 towards medication. And 2 other recipients received $5,000 towards fertility treatment.
That is so amazing. Did those people have big teams? I'm just
It was so
curious.
awesome. It was, yes. There was no, it would depend. So some didn't even have a team at all. I mean, they were just that lucky grant winner. But what was even more amazing is that over 500 people were there supporting family and friends and letting them know that they're not alone, that there's a stigma, but no, their infertility affects so many women and couples. 1 out of 8 couples struggle with infertility. And if you look at CDC data, over 7.4 million women have used fertility services. So they're not alone. There's a lot of us out there.
And I think it's always interesting because it's like when you want a baby, that's when you realize that it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to make it happen.
And everybody around you is getting
Everybody's having, yes. What's going on
the
with
ones
me?
you're drinking.
Yeah.
There were a couple teams yesterday that were significantly large, and that was the whole thing about it. Is if you built a larger team, you got a ticket that went into the selection, and you had more chances of winning. So there were 2 winners that had teams of 40 people and 1 that had 20 people.
Oh my gosh.
And then there were some that were just lucky.
Lucky.
That just came wife and husband and got picked.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was our first
so
ever.
cool.
It was awesome to just bring the awareness to Seattle.
Oh my gosh. Just one quick question because we are already out of time. By the way, I've got your titles. I know I've got your titles down below so people can see where what you do and where you're from. But what do you think needs to change at the policy level?
Right. So
And you can say where you are and what it is. So.
I'm an ambassador for Resolve, which is the National Infertility Association. And as such, we're kind of like the hyper noisy volunteers. Ambassador level who also work on advocacy in Washington, D.C. and Olympia to try to change policy for Americans who are struggling to build their families. We do that both on a federal and a local level. And we're basically trying to increase access to family building options and to provide financial relief through the government for those who are, struggling with this barrier, this financial barrier. Right now, we are working on several things, including the personhood bill that's been introduced both in Olympia and in DC. With the new administration under Trump, there's some uncertainty, even though we've been battling this for a decade. It's a little bit more uncertain now whether this subtle shift in tactics by the anti-choice movement is going to affect the way that Americans who are seeking medical treatment can build their families. So personhood is big, also increasing access to care by veterans and the adoptive parent community, and also providing adoption tax credit refundability.
We could talk about this all day.
We need episodes.
We'll put this interview online, and I'll put the links to your organizations. But thank you
Yes.
guys so much. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. I hope it helps
Thank you.
people out there.
Thank
Thank you.